The brain is a miraculous organ with a capacity beyond our imagination. Although the brain is quite powerful, it is very vulnerable. Here are the bad habits we need to avoid to maintain brain clarity. 1. Lonely for too long. Every person has connections with the community. People who have only a few close friends feel happier and more productive, and they are also less likely to develop dementia disease. If you feel lonely, call your friends, participate in new activities with lots of people like dancing, playing tennis, badminton. 2. Junk food. For people who maintain a regular diet of burgers, fries, and soft drinks, the parts of the brain involved in learning, memory, and mental health are less than people with a healthy diet. On the contrary, berries, whole grains, nuts, and green leafy vegetables have the effect of preserving brain function and slowing intellectual decline. 3. Use headphones at high volume. Using headphones at maximum volume can permanently damage your hearing. In addition to hearing loss, the condition has also been linked to brain problems and loss of brain tissue. This may be because your brain has to work too hard to understand what is being said around, and it cannot store what you have heard into memory. So, turn the volume down, no louder than 60% of the device's maximum volume, and try not to listen for long periods of time. 4. Sedentary. You don't have to be physically active. Just walking for half an hour a day will bring good health effects. Exercise affects the brain in different ways. Exercise increases your heart rate, bringing more oxygen to your brain. Active movement supports the release of hormones, providing an excellent environment for the growth of brain cells. Exercise also promotes brain plasticity by stimulating the growth of new connections between cells in many important cortical regions of the brain. 5. Lack of sleep. We all know that lack of sleep is not good for our health, but we still do it and think that sometimes it will be okay. But the consequences of sleep deprivation are huge. Sleep deprivation is thought to be a cause of dementia, including Alzheimer's disease. It is best to create a regular bedtime routine. If you have trouble sleeping or other sleep problems, avoid alcohol, caffeinated beverages, and electronic devices at night, and do soothing activities before bedtime. Sleep to sleep better. 6. Smoking. A very scary consequence is that smoking can shrink the brain, reduce memory, and double the risk of dementia. Smoking also causes heart disease, diabetes, stroke, and high blood pressure. Smoking biological factors related to how the brain responds to nicotine. When a person smokes, nicotine reaches the brain within about 10 seconds. At first, nicotine improves mood and concentration, reduces anger and stress, relaxes muscles, and reduces cravings. But regular nicotine exposure leads to changes in the brain. 7. Eat more than necessary. If the body consumes too much of even the right foods, the brain may have trouble building strong networks of connections that help you think and remember. Overeating over a long period of time increases the risk of being overweight, which in turn increases the risk of dangerous diseases such as heart disease, diabetes, and high blood pressure, all of which are linked to brain problems and diseases. A recent study suggests that high-calorie intake over time may actually increase the odds of developing dementia or mild cognitive impairment, MCI, into seniors. 8. Staying in the dark for too long. When you are not exposed to natural light long enough, the risk of depression also increases and causes the brain to slow down. Studies also show that sunlight helps the brain work more efficiently. Sunlight and darkness trigger the release of hormones in your brain. Exposure to sunlight is thought to increase the release of a hormone called serotonin in the brain. At night, darkness triggers the brain to make another hormone called melatonin. Reduce sun exposure, which causes a decrease in serotonin levels, which can lead to major seasonal depression.